Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Love Above All with Brandis. This is episode number 8 entitled 3 Ways to Journal Toward a Happier Life. Remember, as always, my mission is always to help you love yourself, know yourself, and share yourself with others for God's authentic purpose. And from the bottom of my heart, that's what I intend to do with each YouTube video. For those of you that are new to this channel, I encourage you to go ahead and look at the links below that will bring you back to a previous playlist and episodes that I have recorded earlier. So I'd encourage you to go ahead and take a look at those. Today, I am feeling extremely inspired to talk about journaling, something that I've been doing since I've been about 16 years old. It has been a wonderful, wonderful tool to help me emotionally as well as to help me propel myself towards any goals or visions that I had in my life. And it is a continued wonderful, wonderful tool that I use to propel me even further. And so I'm really excited to share what I've learned with you. There is nothing spectacular about this. You can do it in any way that you want to, but I love a good old just fashioned piece of paper and pen, and I feel that that connection between the paper and the pen really enables me to connect to God. It enables me to connect to my spirit, and it's very, very soothing and calming for me. If you prefer to use the computer or to use your iPad or to do it in a different way, then I would encourage you to do so. You have to find and figure out what works best for you. I love my journal with some music. I'm good and ready to go. So I'm going to talk about 3 different types of journaling that I hope will help you. Number 1. Emotional healing. Emotional healing is extremely, extremely important, and those of us that remain stuck have a very hard time sometimes being able to move forward and propel onto our goals. So just like we need to detox our bodies with food, with greens and spinach and kale and things of that nature, I feel that we need to detox our emotions, and we need to let those emotions pass through as well, or else they're going to hinder us from pursuing and moving forward into how we want to feel or how we want to be or what we want to do. So first 2 things that I would encourage you to do is what I call a dump and challenge. Okay, so how does a dump and challenge work? First thing is, before you even start a dump, and I'm going to explain to you what that is, you need to pay attention to your body, you need to pay attention to how you're feeling in order to know when you need to actually get down and journal. It's not like you have to, journal weekly or daily. It's really going to depend on how you're feeling. So if one day you're feeling really blah, or maybe you have a headache, maybe you have a stomach ache, maybe there's certain things going on with you, that would be a good indicator that you may need to do the dump and challenge. So let's start off with the dump. Here we have right here. And I know you love my drawings, but I have a person here, and this is our dump. So I would sit down with my journal, and I would focus on my body. I've got my head here, I've got my stomach, whatever it may be. Let's say I'm just feeling a lot of thoughts swirling around in my head. What I would start to do is I would start to dump. I would start to write out all the words that just come to my mind as I'm trying to connect with those thoughts that are in my mind. Maybe it's anxiety, maybe it's worry, maybe I'm going to draw a picture of I don't know, feeling pressured. Maybe I have sadness, maybe I have some happiness in there as well. But you're really just writing down any words or associations that you can connect to what you are feeling. So that is the dump part that you're going to go ahead and concentrate on. If it's an overall feeling of blah, you can go ahead and write out all of your thoughts all around the body just to get everything out of your brain. The challenge part is going to be where you take these thoughts or words and you start formulating sentences out of them and you start challenging them. So for example, if I see a lot of anxiety and worry, I might say, it might be about a specific event or something that's happening in my life. And I'm going to put that into words. I'm going to say, I feel unworthy, okay? And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go out and counteract that with what I feel God says. Now, there's many ways to do this. I believe that we have a lower voice and we have a higher voice that's speaking in us at all times. I might directly try to connect with my higher voice and counteract that thought in order to get me back to what it is that God really believes. That is one way. Another way would be to look up scripture and to go ahead and counteract what you say with what you believe scripture to say. Maybe there's certain verses that you've remembered that you'd want to go ahead and write down. Maybe there's just some other inspirational literature that you have read and you would like to counteract what it is that you are saying. So that's one way to go ahead and do the dump and challenge. And this is a great exercise to do for emotional healing. And the goal and objective of this would be to really get yourself back in alignment with what God says about you. And you have a choice. When you see it laid out about what you're saying and what you believe God to really be saying about any feelings or whatever the situation may be, you have every right to say, I'm going to choose to believe what God says. So a lot of times this exercise will help you feel a lot better in your emotions, and you can go ahead and move forward into that, okay? Number 2 is gratitude. I would encourage you to sit down and journal in the morning or at night, or in the morning or at night. Gratitude is something that really can help us become centered once again, can help us connect to God, and can really help us live in a higher way as well. So with gratitude, it would be very, very simple. You could go ahead and simply sit down and ask yourself, I appreciate in this moment what? And go ahead and list down everything that it is you appreciate. You might want to say, I love today because. Maybe it's at night. You want to go ahead and share everything positive that happened. Or if you're writing in the morning, everything that you just feel in this moment is right in your life. And lastly, you might want to go ahead and start off and say, my blessings are. So what do you feel God has blessed you with? What are some real wonderful things that you can hold on to that can bring you up to a higher state? So that is number 2. Number 3 is what I call vision and dreams journaling. And this is really exciting if there's just something that you really want to do or accomplish, or if it's just a way that you want to be, a way that you want to become in your family life, with your friends, with your relationships, whatever it may be. So the first one is what I would call a dream letter. You just sit down and with all of your heart and with all of your soul, you really look in deep inside and you write down everything that it is that you want. What do you really, really want? What do you want your life to look like? What is it that's going to make you happy while you are here? What is it that you feel you need to do? You write down everything that you want. Second type, I would say, would be a God letter. Kind of like a dream letter, but you're kind of making it a little bit more personal here, and it might be in more of a request type style. You write down everything that you're feeling, you pour out your soul, you ask questions, you just really have an intimate conversation with God in the form of a letter. And that would be something wonderful to do as well. Number 3, and this is my favorite, is your future letter. Okay, this is where you just take some time out, you make an appointment with yourself, and you write in third person, and you talk about, you write a letter that basically acts as if it has already happened. So for example, I would say, Sarah is a wonderful, loving friend, and she has her own gym at this time where she is serving many clients, and she is able to provide well for her family, and she has enough money in order to travel and do what it is she wants to do while she's here, et cetera, et cetera. So you are basically creating a vision of something that has already happened, but it's coming from your soul, it's coming from your spirit. It is what you believe to be true one day, or what you hope to be true one day. This type of vision and dream journaling, I would go ahead and tell you to do this at least once a week. I would suggest you to read back on it. Always read what it is that you have written, so it can further propel your spirit and your soul to keep believing and moving towards what it is that you want. I would suggest that the emotional healing component, that first part of journaling, would be something that you kind of leave and you just kind of let it go aside. That's not really anything that you need to revisit. That's just a way to release. And then your gratitude, your second type of journaling, is always something that you can read over and over again to further remind you how blessed you really are in comparison to what you may be feeling at that time. So that is what I wanted to leave you with. I encourage you to try it. Just try this journaling for 2 to 3 weeks or so. See how you feel. See if you can start becoming more in touch with how you feel, and really just own it and release it, and don't be afraid of it. Meet it head on in order to move forward and live the life that it is you want to live. So God bless you. I hope everything's going well. And if you have any comments or concerns or questions, or you'd like to let me know how this is going, go ahead and leave a comment below. I wish you good luck with your journaling, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care. God bless.